Hello YouTube, it is your boy B3, back to another kicking movie reaction review. As promised, we are continuing not only a batch of Ray Harryhausen films, but also Ray Harryhausen's Sinbad, quote-unquote, trilogy. Last time we did Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger, and today we are doing The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. This one is really cool. Really cool. Let me give you a read-up. I do have the DVD, so I'm going to give you the read-up on the back of the box, okay? This is a spectacular adventure set in mysterious ancient lands inhabited by incredible creatures. Ooh. Sinbad, played by John Philip Law. Really loved John Philip Law's performance as Sinbad. Prince of Baghdad and legendary sailor, finds an intriguing map and sets sail for the previously uncharted island of Lemuria with a beautiful... if I say this word, YouTube's going to want to take it down, but someone who is forced to work without pay, I have no qualms with saying the word, but YouTube likes to take down videos with that word in it, So yeah, she's a forced unpaid servant without pay. You all know what's going on. Her name is Marjania, played by Caroline Munro. And back in the day, Caroline Munro was primo hottie, right? Primo hottie alert. And the Grand Vizier of the land, Marabia. Prince Kura, the Grand Vizier of the land of Marabia, Prince Kura, played by Tom Baker of Doctor Who fame. He's an evil wizard who is trying to gain control of Marabia through his manipulation of malevolent spirits. And he follows in an effort to thwart Sinbad's quest. Sinbad reaches Lemuria in spite of an enchantment Kura casts upon the giant figurehead of Sinbad's ship, which brings it to life. That sentence probably shouldn't be on here. But on Lemuria, Sinbad and his stalwart crew encounter a six-armed, sword-brandishing statue, a one-eyed centaur, and a griffin. Finally, Sinbad confronts Kura in a face-to-face duel to the death. That's a little too much information for the back of a DVD, to be completely honest. I think that might have been a little much. But, you know, it's Columbia Pictures movie from Charles H. Schneer, starring John Philip Law, Caroline Munro, Tom Baker, screenplay by Brian Clemens, music by Miklos Rosa, and creator of special effects, of course, Ray Harryhausen, produced by Charles H. Schneer and Ray Harryhausen, and directed by Gordon Hessler. Yeah, it's 105 minutes. It's from 1973, and it's rated G for some reason. G for G. Oh my god. It's rated G for general audience. I would give it a solid PG. Things were kind of the same for Jason and the Argonauts and Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. Both said G on the back of the DVD, but these DVDs are from like the year 2000. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I would say solid PG, and as I said in the last video, most parents in the modern day are going to let their kids watch a PG movie by themselves anyways, so it's all good. But this is a pretty good film. Out of the three Ray Harryhausen Sinbad movies, this one is actually the one that I think has the best acting. John Philip Law does like a really fantastic job. Caroline Munro, always happy to see her. And then Tom Baker really kills it as a villain. You know, we should see Tom Baker as a villain more often. You know what I mean? You're so used to seeing him as a little quirky, happy doctor, but he was a pretty good villain in this film. Like, the whole time he's using black magic, and it's like making him weaker and aging him faster than it should, but it's all worth it because if he gets the treasure he wants, it'll give him eternal youth anyway, so he's willing to sacrifice that and risk it. Really wild. And then there's also, like, this other kind of, like, rich kind of ruler who has, like, a deformed face because he's been burned, so he wears this golden mask the whole movie, and there's a face reveal down the line, and the natives on the island are green, and they have a centaur god who fights the griffin. I actually have the X Plus figures of the centaur and griffin. They're pretty cool. I got them, well, I didn't get them at G-Fest. Someone got them at G-Fest and then gave them to me as a gift, along with the X Plus Talos. So I have all three of those. Really, really cool. With tag, actually. Very rare. Very rare figures. But yeah, I'm much more about the film in this. Like the action sequence where they fight the goddess, you know? Kali, I think is her name. They fight her, and she has 6 arms and 6 swords. And that's a really incredible feat of stop motion and choreography. Really, really incredible. A lot like the Hydra fight in Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. Probably one of the best stop motion sequences of all time. Of all time. It, the film at least portrays forcing people to work with no pay as a bad thing. Yes. But most of the Middle Eastern characters are played by white people. A lot of whitewashing. But, if you can acknowledge that it's a product of its time and look past that, like I can, you'll be fine. Is it a problem? Yes. Can we change it? No. And most, if not all, of the people who made this movie are dead. So, whatever. But it's a pretty cool film. I really like the little homunculus. I think about that homunculus all the time. Just throughout my life. I think that out of all the creatures in this film, the centaur is probably the most interesting. A green-skinned cycloptic centaur that's worshipped as a god. That's really interesting. It's probably the most interesting creature. But the homunculus, I can never get it out of my mind. The little winged critter that just does the bidding of its master, and he can see and hear through it and stuff. I really dug the homunculus. I don't know. I think I might like to have one. And every time in D&D, when we're playing D&D, check out the Tabletop Recap podcast where we play Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. We are, one of our characters, Corvus, has an imp, and actually so does Big Boy Chungus's character, Tywin, in a different campaign. They each have imps, and I always imagine the imp looks like this homunculus. Whenever they say homunculus in Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I always immediately think of this little homunculus from this film. It's very good, and it's got some fun costumes, great sets, and some fun matte paintings as well, I believe. It's a really good one. I really like this film. And once again, as I said, it does have, I think, in my opinion, the best acting of all the Ray Harryhausen Sinbad movies. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll see you all next time.